afternoon, Thomas.
Good afternoon.
If I could start by asking you about Wesley Fofana. Suggestions that Leicester want as much as £80 million for him.
We can shorten this. I will not comment. I will not comment. I will not comment.
Shall I ask the question?
No matter how good your question will be, I will not comment.
Is it fair to say he's a target?
I will not comment.
If you weren't to bring in another defender over the next few weeks, do you think you're short in that department? Do you think you need defensive reinforcement?
We could use one more central defender. Yeah, if you look at the numbers and given the fact that in the moment we play with a back three, and the profile of the guys in the back three is a little bit different, I admit. So we're playing with also with Aspi, who is more a fullback as a central defender in a back three. With Kukureya, it's possible. It's a good position, but both of them, for example, cannot play as central defenders. So real central defenders, we could use one more. Let's see what happens.
Likewise, at the other end of the pitch, you've obviously lost two strikers over the summer. If you don't bring in a recognised out-and-out striker, are you concerned about the strength and depth you have up front?
I think we could use and strengthen our squad in depth and strength in both. But you know, it's one thing what you wish for, and one other thing what's possible. And it needs to be possible. And we're looking for top quality and top personalities, good characters, and real competitors on the highest level. So you don't always get what you wish for, and that's why we are calm and we're ambitious at the same time, and still quite some days to go until the end of the transfer period. And as you know as good as I, everything is possible until the end.
Again, I know the answer I'm going to get it. I'm give you a name, so I'm going to phrase the question differently.
Yeah. No comment.
In your time alongside Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang at Dortmund, he had tremendous success. Would it be fair to say you enjoyed working alongside him?
I enjoyed a lot working with him. It was a pleasure. You know, some, and this has nothing to do with the situation now, but some players stay your players because you were very, very close, and Oba is one of these players. We had a very close relationship, and it's always when we played him here with Arsenal or and an opponent team, it was always straight away this close bond, and they always stay your players in a way, and Oba is one of these guys.
Because clearly Mikel Arteta felt he was a disruptive influence, a toxic influence on Arsenal's dressing room. Yeah. You wouldn't have any concerns about him?
No, because I experienced none of this, and this has nothing to do with the situation in Arsenal, which I will also not comment, and out of respect, and because it's not on me to comment, because I don't know what happened, but in Dortmund there was never an issue.
Just one final question from me. Obviously you played Spurs 4 times last season, beat them 4 times.
Yeah.
Antonio Conte said himself back in January when you knocked them out of the League Cup, there's a huge gulf between the two sides. 7 months is a long time in football. Do you think they've closed that gap now? Do you think Spurs are now a side that are on a par with Chelsea? I
never felt a huge gap in preparing these matches, because they are close matches and they are very competitive and very talented squad. I think I know very well what we invested and to what level we played to beat them 4 times and not concede a goal against this quality of a team, and then an emotional game in London like this that means for everybody so much. So this was a huge effort and a big performance, big consecutive performance from us. I think they in general, I think that it's a bit I don't believe everything that Antonio Conte says in games like this, before games and after games. I admire him a lot, and I believe strongly that every team he trains competes for everything, no matter which team it is and what club it is. And this is what he proves right now. They had maybe the opposite last 7 months from us, given the situation. Everything was clear. They had something very clear to fight for. They put all the energy to make it into Champions League football. They reached Champions League football. Their targets were clear. The setup in the club was clear. They took advantage of this situation and had a very aggressive and very aggressive transfer period. and a very straightforward and an excellent transfer period to strengthen their squad in quality and in depth, and that's why it's one of the toughest opponents, because that's what is always with Antonio Conte's teams, and that's what we're facing tomorrow. No, not tomorrow, Sunday.
Thank you.
Good.
I appreciate your no commenting on quite a few things today, but
Thanks.
I do want to mention Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang again. Do you think he gets the bad press here, and would you like to work with him again in the future?
I don't follow the press about Pierre Aubameyang, about Oba, because I don't be offended. I don't follow the press so much, and I don't know if he has a bad press or good press, and I cannot care less. It's not important.
Would you like to work with him again in the future?
It's a nice try, but we don't talk any further. I was very polite to talk about my time in Dortmund, but we don't talk about the future with players who are not here. The future is in the next training. That is tomorrow morning with all the players who are here in the dressing room. This is where the energy goes.
So he's not coming today, then, obviously. Can I ask you about what it's going to be like playing in this heat on Sunday? I mean,
this is quite demanding. I mean, it was quite demanding today. It was a huge difference from yesterday to today in terms of the heat, and it will increase until tomorrow. We adapted our training session times to early mornings. And yeah, in a stadium it can feel even worse. So tomorrow at 4:30 this will be quite challenging. I don't know if there's already agreed. There will be maybe and hopefully a pause for drinking. And yeah, we have some patterns implemented already to cool the body temperature down to make it to improve the situation as much as possible, but it will be draining for sure.
It's a good job we got 5 subs in.
Yeah, absolutely, but it will be draining for everybody. I think it will be very hot and very demanding physically tomorrow.
Just one last one on Spurs and Antonio Conte. You've already spoken in glowing terms about your admiration for Antonio Conte, but you obviously kept Son and Kane fairly quiet last season. Yeah. What is the secret?
I don't tell you. No, I don't tell you, because I think we have to be very disciplined in certain regions of the game, and there's a huge. They stepped a level up in their game. They have they play in the same structure so far, but they have a pattern in their offensive pressing, and they have a pattern in their defensive attitude to defend, and this changes a lot. So it's very important that we are good on the ball. It's very important that we are the dominant team. Hopefully put the game into the opponent's half, and from there we need to control the counterattacks before everybody else sees the counterattack. So hopefully we don't talk too much about counterattacking, because they are one of the very best teams maybe in the world in counterattacks in these movements. And you are right, we did a fantastic job in closing it down. So the players were unbelievably disciplined and aware of the situations, and that's why we can never lose the structure, and we can never lose our head while we are attacking, because this is the moment. I believe this is the moment to stop the counterattacks. When the counterattacks start already, you're already in trouble, and you're in big trouble given the quality and the speed and the determination of Tottenham. So we need to be smart and stop the counterattacks before they start.
John, BBC.
Hi Thomas, on the front, are you confident that you will get the players that you need before the end of the month? And if you don't get the players that you need, is that going to be an issue? Will you be slightly undercooked as a squad, do you think?
Well, then it is what it is. We will not panic, and we will not do things, and we will not try to sign players of which we are not 100% convinced. All signings so far are fantastic signings and help us. And it's to be very honest, a day-by-day business now to coach the team which is here and not lose your head as a coach too much about what could be, because what sense does it make if I lose my head now in the office and think about the team with players who are not here. So we are ambitious and we work hard to maybe strengthen our squad further, but at the same time we are calm and all the energy and the ambition goes into the group that is here, and we have still time, and maybe I can answer that question more precisely in September.
Can I ask you one about, obviously Petr Cech has left. How much do you guess his influence around the place, and will he be replaced in Arsenal with someone else to come in to replace him?
We miss him a lot. I saw him in the last days, and he knows from me directly that we miss him a lot, and I know that a lot of people miss him a lot. He was on a daily basis here in the training center, and he was the person who lived the values and the attitude, what it takes to be a top competitor for Chelsea day by day. It was very impressive and was a huge help for me. An enormous support that I never experienced before in this kind of honesty, which is maybe his key quality in all his effort, that he's humble and super honest. So it was a fantastic relationship, but we have to respect his decision and need to maybe now, we need to sort things out. We need to, like I said before, like everything is new, the line of communication is new, the level of and everybody needs to step up now in the stuff, not only me, in responsibility, where we had Petr before, and from there we go.
Okay, then we on to Roger. Can we keep it to one question each now, just to get around here?
Okay, can I ask you then about Raheem Sterling, who spoke at length yesterday he gave in terms of where he prefers to play. He said he likes to play, he's always preferred to play from the wings. You played him centrally. Is that where you see his future, or is that until perhaps you do get someone else in, or have you spoken to him about his preferences and where you see him play?
I think he should play in the last line, or in between the defensive lines, to drive towards the last line or run through the last line. And he was very, very good in training in this free role as a number 9 and dropping into half spaces. But it's such a lot of quality that there are many spaces to use for him. He can play, of course, from the wing. He comes from the wing and is used to play there. He was very dangerous and had an offside goal and a big chance now from the number 9 position, which was a bit a more free role for him to play, and I liked it a lot. And things are not finished. I mean, he came late into our pre-season, and things are not finished. But one thing is clear: the kind of impact he has physically, mentally, and in terms of quality is huge, no matter from where he plays.
One from Adam, then one from Martin to finish.
Hi, Thomas.
Hi.
Do you have any injuries ahead of the game? And obviously Marcus Alonso asked last week not to play.
Yeah.
Is he in contention to play this week?
He is not in training at the moment and tries to finalize his transfer, so he will not be available for tomorrow's game. And it's the same for Kova, who is injured, unfortunately, has issues with his knee and always a little bit of a reaction. So we decided to take a step back and increase treatment time and reduce the stress that comes from training to have no more reaction before we start again. And this is whom we miss on Sunday. Everybody else is available.
Martin, finish off.
Hi Thomas, just a quick one on the subject of heat. You talked about changing the training regime and the times of training.
Yeah.
Could it be a factor in your team selection, because you have so much data on players, you'll know who's better in heat? You've played in hot countries pre-season. Younger players might be better than older players. I'm not asking you to say which way we go. Could it actually affect your selection for this specific day?
It is demanding, and it is more demanding. We see clearly from the data that the same training exercise in different condition has a very different output and has a very different effect on how you feel. And it is maybe also a matter of how much you want it and how much you accept it, because it will feel at times maybe very, very difficult and very draining. So it is it's also a question of who has the ability, who has the will to go to play through the pain, and I'm not there yet to that it influences my starting 11 like from the weather forecast, but we accept the fact that this kind of heat has an effect on has a physical effect on the players, of course.